Good morning, internets. So this is Luke Crocker today with the Classical Martial Arts Research Academy, and I'm just reviewing some of the knots and ties and such tricks of Hojujutsu. I think it's about due time I do some proper video updates here because it's been far too long, and yeah, I keep getting asked for about the same videos, and it looks like Google's a little bit reluctant to index some of my older films, so I suspect it's just a configuration issue with the network. Bah, c'est la vie. So, in any case, the first tie that we're going to be looking at today is called Hebiguchi or Jaguchi, and it is literally a slip knot. That's all it is. The Japanese name there, Hebiguchi, translates as snake mouth, or mouth of the snake, or viper, or what have you. Long story short, a snake's mouth. I suspect it's sort of driven by the nature of the slip knot being inherently dangerous in that it's a cinching knot. And you'll find a lot of cinching knots in Hojujutsu because, well, it's a little bit more serious work than, let's say, Shibari or Kimbaku. And so, accordingly, a cinching knot, something that clamps tightly over the limb, well, kind of like a snake. It's dangerous like a snake. And then Gucci, mouth, so the mouth of a snake, something that's inherently dangerous. Mouth of pretty much any wild animal, really, but that's neither here nor there. So there's a couple ways to do this. Some people will just take the rope, and I've got a length of 6mm jute here. I've got about 30 feet of it here. Bear with me. Some people will just take the length of the rope here and tie a sort of double knot. Oops. There we go. I'm being a bit clumsy today. And they'll tie a sort of double knot and work from there. I'm not a big fan of this. For a couple of reasons, it's nitpicky. You want to be able to, you don't want it to be so explicitly a technique for a knot that you're going to use in adverse situations like Hayanawa or Hojujutsu. The less preparation, the better. So you want to have techniques where you can do it single-handedly. One of the ones I do here is I'll have the end of the rope on one side here, and I'll just turn my hand over. And we have a slip knot. Might want to tighten it a little bit, but ultimately, you got yourself a cinch, and that's going to suck. And then, of course, you can do various things to entrap your opponent or partner, your enemy, all the more. Again, I'm going to emphasize safety on this. If you're using it in practice and training, try to avoid the ulnar and radial nerve right on the articulations of the wrist, simply because, like I've said before, you don't want to cause unnecessary damage to your training partners and friends if they have to work the next day and suddenly their hand's not working because the nerve's damaged, and it's going to take them anywhere from a couple days to a couple months to recover. You don't want that. Leave your friends in better condition than you found them. So yeah, there's that. Gotta put my toes here. I'm just gonna turn the wrist over. And you've got a slip knot. Now this is something you find in Togakure-ryu Nimpo Taijutsu, and you see it in the sort of articulations or the isometrics that they use, the isolations. And you've got Takure, right? Takure. So you see it in the wrist movement here. Oops. Another good place to see it is in that very same style's swordsmanship. The technique Kage Ito, or Kage no Ito, with the swords behind the swords at the hip. Put it behind the back. You've got it over the shoulder. same sort of movement. Yeah, here. Hon, shun, hun. Same sort of movement. Alrighty, so you can see the connection there. It's the isometrics that you find in some type of dancing and such. It's literally the same thing. 1, 2, 3. And then you're already ready for good old Hayanawa. Right? So that's one way of doing it. Another way is here. And this is from Gyokko-ryu Nawajutsu. Gyokko-ryu Koshijutsu. Here. You have to have your articulations pretty good here. Koshijutsu, right? Using the bones of the hands. Et voila, you've got it again. Although that is a Hayanawa sort of technique, so you'd have a shorter length rope. That one you'd have in the middle of your rope here, so you're working with the bite. Here, shum, shum, hum, hum. Now this is a lighter rope, so it might take 2 hands, but there you go. And you've got your Jaguchi, Hebiguchi, Hebiguchi Musubi. So those are 2 ways of performing the slipknot in a martial context, or for martial preparation. We got one from ninjutsu, and we've got one from koshijutsu. Hong, 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 la. Voila, just like that. And of course, it's good for good old pa. And you'll see this in a lot of traditions like Seigo-ryu Nawajutsu. Seigo-ryu Nawajutsu uses double slip knots, which is kind of interesting, but that's a subject for another video. I hope that was interesting and informative, and you guys have a great day.